it going, everyone? We got our back mech panel all cleaned up. Now we have to get the underside of our Playfield all clean. I took the coin door off. I'm going to do some work on the coin door. Basically the same thing on this. We will just begin somewhere. Now our flippers on this, I have the kits ordered. I only got one kit, and we'll put that on the bottom. Flippers. You can see, God, that sucker is nasty. The top ones aren't too bad, but they will, as you can see, God, we definitely have to do some work on them too. I may have to order another kit for our top flippers. That one's not too bad. That one works. That one's switching. Okay, this one, it hangs up. It's like there's no sleeve in it. Same with our bottom ones. This one hangs up, doesn't return enough. This one, good. But we're going to start with our relays. We'll do this whole bank of relays and get those all cleaned up. And when I was looking this over, and one of these, the head of a screw bolt fell off and down onto the playing field, and you can see that one has been broke for a while, and it is the bolt right down. Let me get right there holding our coil. So I'll have to pull that whole coil, that whole relay assembly up out of there so I can get at that, get that old one out and get a new one in. We'll have to unsolder it. You can see it's just kind of hanging in there. We'll get that unsoldered and up out, and we'll get the bolt changed, hopefully. We got one stepper unit to do in here, or under here. This one that's the bonus unit for our bonus lights and bonus score. And our flip-flop unit. Now the whole flip-flop unit, since it's Jones plugged, we can take this whole assembly up out of here and clean it all up. Once I pull it up out of there, I'll leave it up out after it's cleaned until we get the underside, the top side now. Well, underside or the top side of the playing field all cleaned up. So first of all, and then we'll have all of our switches to clean up for everything. We'll have to re-sleeve all of our coils. Re-sleeve all of the coils, our slingshots, our bumpers, not the flippers, we'll rebuild those, and our hole kickouts. We'll get all those coils changed. We'll clean all of our inserts while we're down here. Get all of our inserts cleaned up. So it's all ready. And I'm not sure yet what I'm doing about light bulbs. I'm not positive if I'm gonna go LED with this, or if I'm just gonna go ahead and we'll use our regular number 47s in it. Haven't decided yet. When we get that far, then let me think about it a little bit more, and we'll decide, or I will decide, whether we're gonna do LEDs on this one or not. And then we have our Jones plugs for our playing field. We got to clean those all up. But let's get started. Let's clean up this bank of relays. Now with got all of our relays here cleaned, and I went ahead and cleaned all my switches on the playing field. All of our lane switches and star switches, our button switches. Now what we're going to move on to is the stepper unit. Now just at a glance at this one, you can see how filthy that one is. This is our bonus unit. This is what counts down our bonuses. But I was looking at it and I was just kind of checking a few things, and you can see our whole wheel here is loose. We have one screw here that's loose. You can see I can take that right out with my finger, and then there's one missing up here. So we're going to have to find the adjustment on this too. So on this one we're going to go ahead and we'll take the whole stepper unit up off the playing field and work on it, because we got to re-sleeve the coils, clean all the switches, and we got to get this contact wheel cleaned up really good. It's been arcing because of it being loose. So let's get busy and get that fixed. Okay, with it up off the playing field, there's 3 bolts, or 3 screws I should say, that hold it down. There's one here, and then there's one on the other side that stretches over and screws right down into the playing field. Now as you can see, this sucker is really bad. First we'll take the little contact wheel off here. And there we go. And now, I'll find my Sharpie. You can see the split right here in the wheel, and that's how it come off. So we're just gonna mark it so we know that's where that goes back on. Take a look at that contact wheel. It's not real bad, but God, the nastiness that's all over it. Looks like they even had a problem, had to resolder a contact, or one of the rivets probably come loose. Now on this one, we're going to have to pull that completely off and see if we can find another screw that'll fit. Fit in there. That goes in there. Just so happens I have a screw that I think it's a straight, not a Phillips, but it will serve the purpose. Okay, we'll worry about that once we get this all cleaned up. Now I'm going to use some of the, here we go, electrical grade contact cleaner. Let's see if I can get a lot of this grease, because that's what is on here, is grease. Somebody really greased her up like a stuck pig. I don't like the way there's a lot of grease in between our contacts. I don't know what grease they used. Yeah, let's... Well, I ran in and got my wife's toothbrush so I could clean this better with it. You don't think I'd use mine, do you? Let's see if I can get some more of this broke down. Because if I try and clean it with sandpaper or Scotch-Brite, it's just going to plug it up with all this old grease. Okay, got most of the grease off of it. These black has got to be, that's actual carbon burnt on there. Okay, now I'm missing my sandpaper. My God, I can't find nothing today. Now we'll take our 1000 grit sandpaper and see what we can do about getting this cleaned up. Looks good. Now we'll wipe and get some of the grease off of the contacts on here. And then same thing. We're just gonna polish them up a little bit. of them had a little bit of grease on them. Okay. Now, let's get this put back together. Before we tighten those up, we will, almost let me forget. Okay. Okay, now we have to adjust because it's not, as you can see, it's missing, it's kind of landing right in the middle of contacts. So we can't, ooh. Now we can make it hit all the contacts that way, but not that way. So we are going to set this up so it's on every contact. Okay, now we'll see if it hits all the contacts. Yeah, those are all touching on one button. There. Yeah, that's okay. That's the end of it. End of the strokes. Okay, there it is. A little gummy. Okay, they're hitting on everything, hitting the contact wheels hitting on a contact every time. It's just that we're a little gummed up and it's not moving like it should. So we're going to get him flipped over. We're going to change out the coil sleeves and clean it all up and see if we can get it to go all the way around the way it belongs. You've already seen me put coil sleeves in, so I think we can skip showing you how to put a coil sleeve in these. One stepper unit completed and working properly. You can see now it'll count all the way through. This last one opens the switches, and then it'll count down. and opens the switch when it gets to 0. Okay, what I had run into, what was going on here, is when the bottom coil would pull in, this one little tab right, that second one, not this one here, but that one, quit focusing on my finger, that one right there, when it would pull in, watch the wheel turn a little bit. Well, it was turning too far back and it wouldn't catch that gear. Let's see if I can get up in there. There you can see it. It wouldn't catch the next one. It would just get to the tip of it and wouldn't drop down in so it could move it. So the solution was this tab right here. That's what holds it in place. You can watch. It'll move a little bit. Where you at? There you are. It'll move just a little bit and catch the back gear, that back cog tooth, so it can slide all the way forward, drop down in. Well, it was sliding, it was right up next to it, and every time it would go to move, it wouldn't slide forward far enough. So the solution was this little tab here. I bent him over just a little bit, so now it will stop the gear, go all the way back, it'll drop down in and move it. That was the problem I was having with it, and then I lubed it up, put a little bit of, just dropped a little bit of oil down on the shaft, and now it's all freed up and in good condition. Now it's working. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to change all the sleeves in our coils. These two, I'm going to back you off a little bit. These two, our two out and our two out holes, and our two pop bumpers, thumper bumpers. But to get our thumper bumpers up out, we have to remove this whole panel here. That whole panel has to be unscrewed off the playing field so you can move it, pivot it out of the way, so you can get these two nuts here and over on the other side. All the wiring comes in from this side here, so when we unscrew this, we can just pick this right up and pivot it right up out of the way, and then we can get out our thumpers. We're going to be changing the skirts on our thumpers, so we have to tear the thumpers completely down on the top side. So I will unsolder our light socket on both of them, and while I have the gun heated up, we will fix that coil. So I'll get you set up and we'll get this going and get busy. Since we can't get at this screw down in here, you can see it down in there, it's buried under the wood. We will take 4 screws out. Alright, I'll show you changing a sleeve in one of the kickers, one of the slingshots. Excuse me, I gotta reach across you. Okay. So we got 2 screws, got one here and one on the other side. and 3. The third one is in the back. And all you have to do is you just pull him up, and he'll come right up off of that spring and the plunger. And then we have to remove these two nuts. And get one of them off, and then you can use pull him up off of there. Where you at? There you are. Take a look at your coil stop. Looks good. Yep, that one was split. So you know it was time. Now I'll work on getting all of our sleeves changed on all of our coils that need to be changed, and then we'll tear apart our pop bumpers. Thumper bumpers! Okay, now our thumper bumper. We got two nuts on either side. This is what holds the ring down. That's what connects to the actual metal ring that pushes the ball away. Take those two out, and you have 3 on this one. There's 3 nuts holding the bracket down. These brackets are the exact same brackets as the slingshots. So if you end up with one bad, you can always remember that you can pull one off of one of the slingshots on a parts machine or whatever, or if you're looking them up, it'll be the same part number. Yeah, we'll just pull him right up off of there. Got a couple of washers we'll take off of there, and we'll remove the coil retainer and 2 little screws. See? It's our plunger. Plunger is good. It's not mushroomed or anything. Coil stops like brand new still. Oh! See if we can get that sleeve out of there. That one got a little toasty. Ah. And see that one got a little warm. A lot of carbon in it. Sometimes magnetic screwdrivers are good, sometimes they're a pain. And all you have to do is put him right back down on there, put your two nuts and your two nuts to hold the pusher and the three that hold down the bracket. I'm going to leave this off for the moment until I unsolder our light socket, because that whole unit up top has to come up off the playing field so we can change the switch plate, skirt, I guess you want to call it. So let me get my soldering gun heated up, and we'll take the two sockets off, and we'll fix our coil over there. Okay, since we're going to be working on our pop bumpers, and when we flip this over, we don't want this hanging up and getting caught on everything. We're going to just put one nut in each one of these without connecting anything else, so we can flip the playing field over and we won't have to worry about these dangling. Ooh, a dangler. We won't have to worry about them dangling and catching on anything, pulling on the wires. So at least they're secured, and like I said, they're not hanging around. Hang around! Hang around! Okay, now since we're working right here, and our light bulbs here are underneath that switch bank, we're going to go ahead and just clean them and replace the bulbs while we're right here. That way we don't have to worry about them. We can put the switch bank back on, and then when we go to clean out all the playing field, all the inserts in that, those will be done. We won't have to worry about trying to get under them. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll pop out some light bulbs here. All the way across. And everything that's underneath. And we'll get our nifty little socket cleaner. We'll get in here. Clean up some sockets. Two over on the other side. I think we're gonna just go ahead and stay with incandescents on this one. We'll see how it looks. We may do another series or whatever on doing an LED upgrade on this. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think we should do LEDs on this, and I can get them ordered in. I haven't ordered any. I don't have enough LEDs to do this whole the whole machine. I might have a couple, but so let's just go with incandescents. Regular number 47s. Okay, now let me get some crap so we can clean those inserts. Now you can see how dirty those inserts. You can see the black down in there. That's just soot from the light bulb. And what I got here is just regular, is some mean green with a big old cotton bud courtesy of Carlos Fields. And what we're going to do is we're just going to get in there. One. Gonna get in there. Clean it up. And we'll take our dry one. Really hard to do this through the viewfinder of the camera, finding the hole. There. And now you can see how clean. So I'm going to do that with the rest of these along in here so we can put our switch bank back up on here and get some light bulbs put in it. Then we don't have to worry about those ones under there. We can get finished up. Okay, I just put one screw in the top on our relay board here because we still have to take it back off so we can do our thumper bumpers once we get on top and get that all done. Get them off and changed what needs to be changed. We got our stepper unit squared away. We had some problems with it. We got it fixed. So now our bonus count stepper is all ready to go. We re-sleeved all of our coils except for the flippers. And we cleaned all of our switches. So we're in pretty good shape so far. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. I think we've done enough in this episode, and in the next episode what we're going to do is we're going to do our flippers. We'll do our flippers and our flippy floppy unit. We'll get the flip-flop unit up out of there and see what we got to do to it. I don't think I have those sleeves, so I'm going to have to measure them up and probably order some sleeves. But we can get it cleaned up and ready to go back together once the sleeves come in. But we're going to get that up out of there. And we'll probably leave the flip-flop unit out while we do the top side of the playing field, just because it'll be out of the way and we can get everything clean around it really good. Let's see, that's gonna be about it. Yeah, and then once we get those done, we'll be able to flip this over, plug everything in, and maybe we'll even fire it up and see what the hell happens. Once all the electromechanical stuff's all done, we can flip it over, put everything back in it, and plug it in. Yay! Yay! Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. So until next time, where are you going? Over here. Over here. Okay. See ya.